Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. Hope you are all doing fine. Myself, Karnul Rafi from MYZ Simple Solutions, all solutions for SAP Finance on S4 Hana 1909. We are providing online and offline class training in Bangalore. The training is provided by experienced trainer with strong accounting and SAP Finance domain experience. If interested, do contact us on the below given details. All the end-to-end finance configurations and the errors and resolution for the errors will be shared on this YouTube channel. Please watch, like, and subscribe. Our location for offline training in Bangalore is RT Nagar, Hebbal and Dinoor. Do contact us on the below given contact details. Now moving to the topic of resolving some errors which are recurring while posting. Okay, while posting GL accounts in FB50, we are getting an error. Any of the posting, it can be vendor invoice, vendor payment, customer invoice, customer payment, or GL posting using FB50, FB60, F-53, FB70, F-28. There is error which is raised by the system. What is the error? The document type essay and entry is required in field reference number. For document type essay and entry is required in field document header text. What is the system demanding from you? You need to mandatorily enter the reference number in the reference field, and you need to mandatorily enter document header text in the document header field. Until you don't enter anything in these fields, you cannot save it or move forward in your transactions. So what is the resolution for this? How can you overcome this kind of error? The system will not allow you to save the transaction posting. So how to overcome this? There are two steps in overcoming this. First of all, if you want to maintain these two fields as mandatory, for every transaction, you need to enter the reference number on document header text. Straight and simple. Whenever you are using FB50, FB60, FB70, F-28, F-53, you need to give the data in reference field as well as document header field. If you are ready to give it, it is straightforward, there will be no error. If you don't want to make it mandatory, that you are not mandatorily entering any data in reference field or document header field, it is kept as optional. Sometimes you enter it and sometimes you don't enter it. Keep it blank. In vendor invoice posting like FB60, you can enter the reference number as invoice number. In FB50, you don't have invoice, you're making the payment. So you need to keep it blank. Okay. So what are we telling? We can resolve this issue. We can resolve this issue in two ways. One is straightforward. Whatever system is asking, post it into the reference number and document header text. It will be done and you can continue. The second solution is that you don't want to enter mandatorily the data in reference number field and document header field. Then what you need to do? You need to tweak the system in such a way that these fields can be left blank as well as data can be posted in these fields. This is called as optional status for field. This is called as optional status for the field. If you want to make the reference and document header text field optional, that is you can enter data or leave it blank. In both the cases, the system will save the transaction postings, right? Before we go to the postings, we need to understand the document types. The simple or regular document types you will be coming across while practice and during the work. What is that? When you are posting through FB50, what kind of document is generated in the system? It is SA document. Okay. In FB60, what is the what is the system document type that it will be generating? It will be generating KR. When it is outgoing or vendor payment, it will be document type KZ. And when it is FB70, you are posting something through FB70, the system will be generating a document type DR. And if it is payment receiving from customer, F-28, if you are using this screen for posting some kind of data, what kind of document it will be generating? It will be generating DZ. These document types are not defined by us. It is defined by the system itself. By default, when you are using each screen, there is a default document type assigned to it by the SAP. So now to overcome this, to make the reference number and document header text field as optional. They can hold the data in these fields, or if it leave it blank also, we can save the transaction. So this is very useful. Okay. If it is mandatory, every time you need to enter all reference number and document header text. If it keep it optional, you can enter whenever required and leave it blank whenever it is not required. We understood these are document types, simple document types which you will be getting in your course, regular course of your work. Okay, you need to carry out the below steps to change the status of reference number and document header text field as optional. What is that we are telling? Here in the system, it is kept as mandatorily. The system has kept this reference number and document header text as mandatory. What is that mandatory? It is the status of the two fields. That means what? Mandatory means you need to enter the data mandatorily in these fields. If it is left blank, it is not going to process further or it is not going to save the postings. So you can straightforward, you can post the data in reference number as well as document header text. The system will process it. In case, and this is the standard practice that you don't keep anything unnecessary, the status of any of the fields as mandatory. So reference and document header text fields, we are going to make it as optional. Optional mean what? The status of this field of reference number and document header text needs to be optional. Optional means what? Whenever you are doing any kind of posting using FB50, FB60, FB70, F-28, F-53, you can keep this field reference number on document header text empty, or you can enter the data. In any case, it is not going to affect your transaction. You can leave it blank, then also it will save. When you enter the data in both of these fields, then also it will going to save. Okay, in both the cases it is going to save it. So what are the steps? You need to carry out the below steps to change the status of reference number on document header text field as optional. So what is the first step you need to go? Okay, right. I will show you both the cases how you are going to do it. I'm just giving the explanation. First one, to change the status of both of these fields. What is this fields? Reference number field and document header text fields. To make the status of this two fields as optional, we need to carry out these steps. What is the steps? We need to go to OBA7, that is document types. Whatever document type you need to make changes, you select this document type. Okay. In our case, we are selecting FB50. What is FB50? GL posting. Okay, GL posting. It is not posting the transaction because all this is reference number and document header text is kept as mandatory. Now we are going to change the status of this field so that it will save the posting when this both the fields are kept empty as well as you enter the data in that. In any of the case, it will accept and it will save. So what we are doing? Step one is we need to go to transaction code OBA7. OBA7 is for what? Document type. In this OBA7, when you execute OBA7, you are on the screen. The screen will be displaying all the document types which are there in SAP system. Okay. Now we are resolving the error which is raised when we are entering FB50. So what we need to do? FB50 will generate a document. As I told you, it is generating a document called as essay. So we need to select in the open screen, we need to select essay document. Okay. Double click on it. Double click on the required document. Now, for example, we are taking it as essay document. Why? We are posting to FB50. FB50 generates a document type essay. Right? Now, double click on essay document type. The below screen will open up. Okay. Here you can find that required during document entry. That is what? It is mandatory. Without this field, the data cannot be saved. The posting, what you do in FB50, 60, 70, F-28, F-53 will not be saved. So it is kept as mandatory here. So what we need to do to make it optional? So now you have come to this screen. Step 1, execute T code OBA7. Okay, in OBA7, you will find a screen with all document types. Whatever document types you want to make adjustments or make changes or modification, go to that document and double click on that document type. So you are on the screen. You will find that there is at the bottom left, there are two fields, reference number and document header text, which is clicked as mandatory. Right? Now go to step 3. What is step 3? Change the status of reference number and document header text. How you will change the status of reference number and document type? We are on essay document type. Here it is essay. Okay, essay is here. Okay, document type essay. We are talking about essay now. Select this document. Uncheck the tick mark for field reference located here on the bottom left. Uncheck. Uncheck for reference as well as document header text. In case if you need this as mandatory reference, not document header text, you click on the reference, keep this check mark as it is for reference, and you don't need mandatory. You want only optional for document header text, then you uncheck this box. It is up to your requirement. Now from our side, we are not making it as mandatory, so we are unchecking both of these fields, reference number and document header text. Okay, unchecking both of these fields. Now what will happen when we uncheck? After unchecking, click on save button here. Now the changes will be applicable. Now the changes will be applicable. How can you go and test it? Go to FB50, make the posting. Don't enter anything in reference number or document header text. Okay. Now simulate the document and click on save. It will be successfully saved. And post another document for unit testing. Enter the reference number as well as document header text in the transaction, in the posting. Then you save it. This posting will also be saved. You can post the document without reference number as well as document header text, and you can post the document with both the information, reference number as well as document header text. Now we'll move on to the screen how to do this necessary transactions. Okay. These are very small tips, but it is very useful when you are a new beginner in here. Okay. So it will be very useful for you to resolve these issues, because from my personal experience, we were wasting around days together to resolve a simple errors. Now you are at all this information is at your fingertips. You can manage your time better and you will be confident when you resolve it on your own. Okay. Now we will move on to the system. Okay, just wait. You share. Okay. Now we are on the scale. I am talking about an example. You can take any of the examples. Okay. Now we are talking about something like FB 50. FB 50 is for GL posting. Okay. Click on enter. We are posting something in GL account document. Okay. We'll put this as 1/8/2022. 1/8/2022. We will not put anything reference. These are the fields that it will be raising errors for. We'll just leave it blank and we'll go to enter debit item. What is the debit item we are going to make? We are making payment for furniture purchase. Make it as debit like 2000s and make this as cash. Cash will be credit. Okay, we are purchasing furniture for cash. Click on enter. See what is this? For document type SA, an entry is required in field reference number. It is showing field reference number. Okay, then what it will show? It will not move to the second field unless this is resolved. We'll give this, okay, example. Now it has accepted reference number field. Now it is saying that you need mandatorily to enter some data in field document header text. If you enter this, okay, this will be resolved. No need to do anything. You can go ahead, simulate the document and save it. Okay. Simulate and save it. The transaction will be saved. Now, how about 2/8/2022? 2/8/2022. Okay. We are keeping it blank. We don't need for all transaction. We cannot enter the reference number as well as document header text. There are some special transactions where we can enter reference number and document header text. So to make some transaction except the transaction in the systems, some we will be providing reference number, for some we will be providing document header text. The system should accept it. When we leave it blank also, it should accept the transaction. If you enter the data in document head number, document header text and reference number, it should accept the transaction. Now, if we leave it blank and we'll make a payment for purchase, like small purchase, like okay, forex gain, or will computer and printer, it is debit. Okay, 2400. Okay, then it is cash. Now just tell me whether this transaction will be accepted. No, it will not be accepted because these fields are kept as mandatory. Both this field reference on document header text field is kept as mandatory. With mandatory means mandatory, it should have some kind of data in this fields. Field 1 reference number as well as in document header text. So the user will be at a very the user will be having a hard time when he wants to enter everything. For each and every transaction, he needs to enter reference number and document type. Instead of this, we can keep it as mandatory. Whenever there is a required information for reference number and document header text, we can type it. If it is not required, if it is not there, we can leave it blank. So we are making the system flexible to work with. We are making the system flexible to work with. The user will be flexible. If he has some information for reference, he can put it. If he has some reference for document header text, he can put it. If there is no reference number or document header text, he can leave it blank and still he can be able to save the transaction. So how to overcome this? How to overcome this? We need, I am leaving it blank. Still it needs to accept this transaction. How to overcome this? Okay, as I told you in my previous this one before, you need to go to OBA7. OBA7 is for what? Document types. It will show the screen for all the default document types provided by SAP. Provided by SAP. All these documents, it is more than enough. No need to create a new document type. All the document types are by default selected when you are posting to your respective screen. Now for FB50, as I told you before, for FB50, you are getting a document type as SA. So FB50 and SA is connected. We need to make the changes in SA documents. Okay, you have SA here, document type SA is here. If you are using FB60, you need to go to KR document. If you are using FB70 and you are getting this error, you go to DR document. Now we are using an example. We are using an example of FB50. FB50 is a screen where you will get a document type SA as default. Just double click on SA document, right? You are on this screen right now. Don't make any changes in here. Just be careful with a cool mind. Just check here at the bottom left. You will be getting some option required during document entry. Required means what? Mandatorily. It should be having, this field should be having data mandatorily. That is why we are getting an error. Without entering data in these fields, you cannot save it. So what you do it to make it flexible. It should accept the data when we enter the data in reference field, reference number and document header text, it should save. If you don't give anything in this both of these fields also, it should save. Just uncheck this check boxes. Uncheck these check boxes and click on save. Again, I am telling you, again, I will go back. How to resolve this issue? Go to transaction code OBA7. Okay. You are on the screen. Whatever screen you are working on, as I told you, if you are working on FB60 and you are getting this error, you need to select the document type KR. Now we are taking an example of FB50. FB50 is connected with document type SA. You need to go to SA. Okay, go to SA. Double click on this. Okay. Now at the bottom left, you are getting this as check mark. That is why you are getting an error while posting in FB50. Now uncheck this. Click on save. Data already saved. Okay. All right. Come back. Now we'll go to this screen. Whether this will be applicable? No, it will not be applicable. Go back. Get out of the screen. Now, whatever changes have been made to the system, now these changes will be applicable wherever it is required. Okay, then go to FB50. Now, we'll take it as 28. Will not enter anything. We'll see whether it will accept it or not. Okay, we are making payment for computers. It will be debit 2400, and we are making the payment through cash. We'll select cash account. Cash will be credit and computer account will be debit 2400. Now click on enter. Now it is showing it as yellow. Why? Balance not yet confirmed. This transaction, these line items, this debits and credit is not confirmed by the system still yet. When it turns to blue, now it turns to green. Now it is good to go. This is entries or can be posted and it is good to go. Right? Click on simulate. We'll go back again. I want to show you that I have not entered anything in reference number as well as document header text. Okay. After making the changes, this is the first transaction we are posting without this. Okay. Go to simulate. Right. 40 is debit, 50 is credit. Okay. Click on save. Now the document is saved without giving any data in reference number as well as document header text. Now we will check if we give the reference, it will be accepted or not. 2. We will give this as 101 and something like computer purchased. Okay. Now we'll go here. Computer. Okay. It's debit 5,000 and it will be cash credit. Simple to use. What is coming in? We are purchasing a computer that is coming in. As per the rule of receiving and personal account, debit the receiver. We are debiting the receiver. This is what cash is a real account. What is the golden rule of cash account? Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. While we are making the payment, it is going out. So we are crediting this. Now click on enter. From yellow, it has turned to green. This entry is good to go. Now this entry is good to go. Go to simulate. We are, see, again, I want to tell you that we have before transaction, we have not put anything. Still the system has accepted it. Now after putting this data into, the system will needs to accept this also. Click on save. This is how you resolve. For any of the document types or any of the posting, you can do the same thing. You can do it for FB50, FB60, FB70, FB65, FB75, and F-28 and F-53. Okay. Hope you understood this. Now we are going to move on to the number range. What is the use of number range in a SAP system? Number range plays a vital role. Number range will play a vital role in providing the information that these documents are posted into the system or not. This is a reference number which you are getting it from where? From the system, that this transaction has been posted, accepted by the system. Okay, anytime you can refer back to the system with this document number. Okay, what is the number range errors that you are getting while posting in FB50, FB60, FB70, FB65, FB75, F-28, F-53? The below error is raised by the system when you are posting for the first time in the system using FB50, FB60, FB70, FB65, any of this transaction, it will raise an error. What kind of error? We are taking an example of company code YUS in company code YUS. This is what? Company code. This is YUS is what? This is a company code. The number range is, the number range code is 17, is missing for the year 2022. So while posting some documents, we are not finding this number range. Why this number range is required? When the system is posting some documents, it will give a document number after posting. So if it does not find from where the number should be generated, it will show this error. As you are well aware that whenever you post any transaction in the system needs a number range so that it can be assigned to the posted document which can be referenced in future if required. So document number, without document number, the system will not post any document in the system. So for every document to be posted, it should have a corresponding number range. The number range is nothing but the system picks up from the number range to be assigned to the document. So before you move forward, you should know what kinds of transaction you will be having. Why we are assigning number ranges based on transactions. Okay, there are two kinds of data or transaction: master transactions and transaction data. Master data and transaction data, we have two kinds of data we have. What is master data? To resolve the issue, we need to understand the data. There are two kinds of data: master data and transaction data. Master data is what? Master data is a static data which does not undergo changes frequently. What does it mean? You have created a vendor. After 3 months, you change the name of this vendor? No, it is not illegal. It is illegal. It is prohibited. You cannot do this. Once you create the master data like vendor, customer, asset, bank, or GL accounts, you can not change it. The primary data will never change. The secondary data like contact details, phone number, and that can be changed. So what is master data? Is a static data which does not undergo changes frequently. While creating master data is what? Vendor master, while we are creating vendors, while creating customers, while creating bank, while creating asset, while creating GL accounts, we are using different T codes. My friends, keep in mind, while creating master data, we are using different T codes for master data. Okay, vendor master data, you are using a number range called as XKN1. While creating customer master data, we creating number range called as XDN1 using T code. And asset master data AS08, GL account master data OBD4. Okay, keep this in mind. Simple. While creating master data, what is master data? These are the 5 master data tables. While creating master data or posting data for master data, you need to use different kinds of T codes. Why I am telling this? Now you will understand. Okay, I am talking about master data. Now we'll move to transaction data. What is transaction data? It is a dynamic data which undergoes changes frequently. What does it mean? This data will never remain constant. Every now and then it will be changing. After 10 minutes, after 1 hour, it will be changing. Every time it will be changing. How? When you make a purchase entry right now, you have purchased something and you posted it into the system. After 1 hour, you will get another 5-10 invoices. So every time it is going on changing. So transaction data is a dynamic data which undergoes changes frequently. What are the examples of transaction data? It can be purchase transaction data. It can be vendor payment transaction data, sales transaction data, customer payment transaction data, bank transaction data. Bank transaction is what? Receiving and outgoing and incoming of funds. If it is incoming and outgoing, these are all transaction data. For capturing each transaction data, we need to create a number range. To be assign this transaction with a particular number, the system will assign it from our number range. Then asset transaction data, asset, there is a movement of asset. We are purchasing asset, we are selling an asset, we are moving from one company to another company. We need a number range to be assigned so that each transaction can be tracked easily, right? So for all transaction data, you have to use only one T code that is called as FBN1. What is it? It is called as FBN1. We use only one transaction code for creating number ranges for transaction data. If something, when you are posting a purchase transaction data, you get an error that number range not found. Where we need to go? You need to go to FBN1. If you find it for vendor outgoing payments or sales transaction, customer incoming payments, bank transaction, asset transaction, you need to go to only one transaction. It is called as FBN1. For master data, when you are posting master data, you need to use different kinds of T codes. We have different T codes for master data. For transaction data, well, we are posting purchase or vendor payments, customer invoice, bank transaction, that is incoming and outgoing transaction funds, asset transaction. We need to use only one transaction code that is called as FBN1. Blindly, when you are posting a transaction data into the system, when you find this number range missing, go to FBN1 and create the number range. Okay, now we are talking about in company code Yusuf 8. The number range 17 is missing for the year 2022. How to resolve this issue? Okay, it is coming from here, right? It is coming while we are posting the transaction. This error is coming while we are posting the transaction. How can we resolve this error? There are two methods to resolve this error. How? Straightforward is, we can, when you find this error, it is showing, as I told you, it is showing it is related to company code YUS1. The number range code is 17 and it is related to fiscal year 2022. So keep this in mind, three things: company code, number range code, and year. Okay. Now, from the screen, you're getting an error on one of the screen. Keep that screen as it is and go to open new sessions, new screen. We call each screen in SAP is called as sessions. We don't call it as screens. We call it as sessions. And maximum of 6 sessions can be opened for one system. How many? Maximum of 6 sessions can be opened. Right? Now you are getting an error while posting some documents in B50. So what is the resolution? Open a new session. In the new session, enter transaction code FBN1. Okay, I will show it practically. Just write down the steps. Step 2, enter company code. When you execute FBN1, it will be on one screen. It will be asking you the information. What is your company code? After entering the company code, click on change button. What is change button? You need to change button at the bottom. Okay, click on the change button. Next, step 3. In the next screen or next session, you will find this new screen. On the new screen, click on plus interval. That is what? Insert interval button at the top. It will open a screen at the bottom, or like a row it will open. Enter number 17. What is it asking now? 17 is the number. Company code is this one. Company code in the first screen we have given. Now we need to give company. We have given it here. Okay, we have given it here, company. Okay, now no need to give company. It is already told that we are giving. Okay, give 17 as the number. Year is 2020. Whatever free number is there, you can assign it. There might be already number ranges which is present, already created in the screen. You don't have to give the same numbers. It should be unique numbers. It should not overlap with each number range. So make sure that you enter a correct number. Okay, unique and correct number. Okay, right? Then the second method I am talking to you is method 2. Before the error is raised or before you post some kind of transaction, you know what kind of document you are posting. Simple. If you are posting through FB50, you know you are having a document type as SA. So how to view the document type? Go to OBA7, select that. OBA7, click on the screen. What it will show, it will open up a screen showing all the document types. Whatever document type, for example, we are taking it as SA. For SA, we need to create a number range. Double click on SA document. It will open a new screen. In the new screen, click on number range information button. There is a button, small button on the screen, number range information button. Okay, just click on that. The same steps will be there again, what you have done in FBN1. Okay, this is creation before you come across the error. Okay, you can resolve it based on your experience. You can resolve it. Now, when you click on number range information button on the screen, this step is the same what you have done in FBN1, right? We'll just go and do the same thing in here. Okay. We will go /n f dash 70. We are posting a vendor invoice. We will check FB50 70. Sorry, FB70. FB70 is used for what? Posting customer invoice. Okay. We have one customer. This is related to company code. Okay. We'll put it as 1/8/2022. 1/8/2022. Okay. Amount as 1,200. Okay. Put this as customer invoice. We are using this for company code what? By US8. Okay. Here go. The error is coming here. What it is saying in company code 8. In company code by US8, the number range 18 is missing for the year 2022. What we need to do? Open another session. Open another session. What it is showing? Number range 18, 2022. You need to create number range 18. What we need to do? What is the T code? FBN1. Click on enter. Click on your company code YUS8. Click on interval. Now 18 is not here right now. As I told you, insert line. Okay. 18 is the code. What is the year that it is asking for? 2022. Now it is asking something number range. You should enter the number range which is not present here. The maximum number range we have used here is 15,000. After 15,000, we can use any number. We can use 15,001 to 18,000. What it will do, whenever you are posting in FB70, it will be generating the number from here sequentially. First number will be 15,001. After that, when you start posting next, it will be auto incremented by 1. Click on enter. Click on save. 18 has been created. 18 has been created and it is holding a number 15,001 to 18,000. That is 3,000 numbers can be generated and assigned to this customer invoice. Back. Now come to that screen where we are getting this error. This is the error you are getting now. Click on enter. Don't do anything. Click on error. The error is gone now. You can directly post the document. How you post the document? You cannot. You need to create, give the second line item. What is the second line item you need to give? This is what? Sales account, right? Vendor account debit to sales account. What is the amount? 1,200, right? Go to simulate, save. Now the document is posted. Oh, in case if you don't, if you know beforehand, you before you start posting, you know that I have not created a number range for DR document. What you need to do? How we go and check this? Document type OB-A7. This is the second method that I am showing you. When you know beforehand, before entering and before you get the alert, you know that you are not created a number range for this kind of documents before posting. You can go to OB-A7. What is the document that we are going to post in FB70? It is DR. Click on DR. Here 18 and number range. We have already created a number range that it will be showing. If you are not created, it will not show anything. From here, you need to create the same steps what you have done in FBN1, right? Just click on the company code, click on change intervals. 18 is already done. If you insert it clear 18 2022 number range from starting number and end number, just create it and save it. Now you go to FB70 or any of the screens which you are working on. It will be directly posting to the system without any error. Is this clear, my friends? Thanks for watching in the on my YouTube channel. Please subscribe, watch and like. Many more videos will be following up in a periodic or timely manner. Do send your comments and please encourage me to create more videos. Thanks for your time watching this video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.